Epic did a live Q&A and they answered a ton of questions about creative mode. They answered questions about more memory, mythic and exotic weapons. When is Creative 2.0 coming out? Will we ever get NPCs? What about a weapon customizer? And a whole bunch of other questions that I thought you guys would really be interested in. If you want to see all of the questions that were asked, you can go to the Creative Discord and read all of their answers right there. I think this is the third or fourth time that they've done this, and it's super interesting every time, and I thought it was about time that I shared it with you. All right, guys, let's jump right into some of the questions. Okay, so this one was really interesting to me. A lot of people asked questions about memory and creative. This was their response. The new XL Islands and Spatial Thermometer allow a lot more room for expansion than ever before. As everyone starts to become familiar with the new thermometer system and figures out the best ways to utilize it, the potential for larger, more complex builds will become more and more apparent. We hope to add additional tools to the new system to help creators get the most out of it in future releases. This is a big deal. I had asked a similar question. I asked if there are plans to introduce bigger thermometer islands. Like, I would just love to see one that's like 10 times the size of the one they gave us. And they said that they're looking into that. They said they're not necessarily looking into expanding those islands, but that they're going to continue to explore ways to allow creators to make the most of what the spatial thermometer islands can do. So this is a big deal for me because I feel like there's so many game modes that you can make with having more memory and more space to build in. I love the thermometer islands. I think it's such a great start, and I want to see the ability to maximize that memory. A lot of people asked about NPCs and what will be available there. This is their response. We know that NPCs are a widely requested feature, and we are definitely looking into new devices and features that will allow creators to add more interactivity and life to their worlds. A fully fledged NPC system is a big undertaking, so no updates right now as to if/when that will arrive. And in a similar question, Echo asked if there's any plans for animals to arrive in creative anytime soon, and then Epic said they agreed that that would be a great addition and that it's something they're looking into, but they are a complex feature, so they need to make sure that they can do them justice and make sure it's as versatile as possible if and when they do bring them into creative. So basically what I'm getting out of this is it's gonna take a while to get anything NPC related. Now I know you guys will probably say, well, it's in Battle Royale, why can't they just put it in creative? I don't know all the technical stuff behind it, but it sounds like it's really complex and it's not as easy as like dragging and dropping a device into creative mode. So I'm sorry guys, it looks like we won't have NPCs for a little while. A lot of people were asking about Creative 2.0 and when that's gonna come out, and they said we're glad that a lot of people are so excited about it, but at this time it's too early to discuss this. So I don't know when we're getting 2.0, guys. Hopefully it's sometime this year. A lot of people were asking about mythic weapons and why we don't have those in creative, and I don't think a lot of you guys are gonna like this response. They said mythics and exotics in particular are special to Battle Royale, so at this time they will not be added in. We are always looking to add and update the uncommon, common, rare, epic, and legendary weapons available in creative as seen through season 16. So no mythics or exotics, guys. I don't really understand that decision, but that's just the way it is. You gotta go to Battle Royale to play with those weapons, I guess. I love this question from Chip that says, any plans on adding weather options or a particle system of some sort? And they said they are planning to expand the available options for visual effects and atmospherics in the future. We can't talk about any specifics at this time. When they usually say something like that, it means they're working on something, and we should probably see something fairly soon, even though they're not like giving us any hints. I love this question by Alman asking if there's ever going to be a first-person device instead of having to use the helipad, which is such a pain. They say that they agree that'd be cool, and it's something that they're looking into, but it's a complex feature, so they have to make sure they can do it right. So that would be awesome at some point to get a first-person device. Quinn asked about a weapon customizer. Epic basically said it's really hard to do, but that they know that it's a really important feature and that they are working on something like that, but it might take a while before we get any kind of weapon customization. There were some other similar questions like where's a crafting system, and their answer was pretty much the same, that it's a big feature, takes a lot of time, they're working on it, but it's coming down the road, way down the road. People are asking if we're gonna get season 7 props and guns, and they said they're definitely bringing a lot of stuff from season 7 over into creative mode. Someone asked if they're gonna bring the chapter 1 island or the chapter 2 island to creative mode. They said no, however, the XL islands are only 20 to 25% smaller than the Battle Royale islands. So I think that's kind of interesting. It was an interesting question. Okay, I asked the same question as Richie Tunes, but basically he asked if they're gonna allow people that don't have supported creator codes to publish maps at any time time. Then this is an interesting answer. This is something we are noodling on for sure. We would love for everyone to be able to create and share islands. We do have a lot of thought about this. There's nothing to report at this time. So it's definitely something they're thinking about. I know there's a lot of issues when it comes to having servers that host these islands. And if all of a sudden there are like a billion islands like piling in, costs a lot of money for Epic. And there's just a lot more to manage there. So I'm sure there's a lot of issues that they're working through before that can happen. But I think it's crucial for creative mode that that happens at some point soon. I love this question where they asked if we'll ever get like an animation device. They said that's a great suggestion, that they'll be sure to look into it. I would love to have an animation device so we can have cutscenes and different things like that in our maps. There was a question about music and how come we haven't had more sounds recently. They said it's taking longer than they'd hoped to get new audio into creative, but we still hope to continue to expand our audio library for use in games. So maybe there are more technical issues there than I know of, because it seems like it should be just an easy addition, but we definitely need way more sounds, music, etc. in creative mode. But it sounds like it's definitely high on their list of things that they're working on. Taki asked if there's some sort of a day cycle device in the works, so you can basically change the time of the day whenever you want. They said they've looked into that, but there's some tricky technical limitations involved, and that they're looking into ways to let you manipulate the look and feel of the sky in other ways. My guess that would be with the barrier devices, but there's still some weird lighting issues with that. It's a really tough thing to solve there if they can't do it just with the like general lighting settings. There are a whole bunch of other really specific questions on this, so I encourage you to go and read through all of this, but I just picked out some of the ones that were really interesting to me and that I thought you would like. But guys, I can't wait for the future of Fortnite Creative. It looks really bright, and I'm so glad that Epic is communicating more with us now. It's such an exciting time to be a part of creative mode, guys. Let's go.